You're absolutely right. A great performance, a great win at Wisconsin, a great performance even in a blowout loss against Nebraska, and now they welcome in Purdue. And we begin at 125 right here. It's number 17, Jacob Moran, and Ashton Jackson. What are you looking for in this matchup individually, Dan?
Well, so as I mentioned, there's a lot of toss-ups in this match. This is not one of them. This is one where Moran is heavily favored coming into it. Moran's got to be looking for bonus points here for his team. He's been so consistent this year, just those 3 losses to Spencer Moore, Nick Bouzakis, and Luke Lildahl. He needs bonus points here, but Ashton Jackson is not going to make it easy. He held it to a regular decision against Dean Peterson of Iowa, number 16 Peterson. But Moran already getting the points on the board.
You're absolutely right. An early takedown for Jacob Moran, and there are points on the board for the Hoosiers. Now, arguably, Ashton Jackson's best skill is the top position. But Jacob Moran wants back points right away. He's got this cradle set up, and he's looking for swipes, and he's not going to get one. They go out of bounds.
He was close there, had him at that 90-degree angle, couldn't quite break 45, but riding on top, he's riding hard as Jake Moran.
Now, if he gets 4 near fall swipes, he's even in position to reset the position and then do it again and then rack up 8. This is a 3-point takedown right now, but he could turn this into a 7-point takedown, an 11-point takedown, a 15-point takedown, and a tech fall if he plays it correctly.
That's true. The possibilities are unlimited. He's going to have to get Ashton Jackson back down to the mat first, though, and now we're back on our feet.
So an escape point for Ashton Jackson, and he will look for a response from neutral. Again, Ashton Jackson, decent in the top position. He's going to start either the second or the third period from the top position, but he's going to have to score from neutral as well if he's going to knock off Moran.
Yeah, Moran, this whole year has been doing such a good job getting to those low ankle shots as we see him in on another one now, and he finishes so clean. Usually with those low ankle shots, you could end up in a scramble, you could end up in a stalemate, in a bad spot, but Jake Moran, clean finish on both of these takedowns so far.
Very well done. Jackson put forth an effort to defend, but Moran had none of it, and that's 3 more points for the Indiana Hoosiers. And they will work to the boundary once again as Moran looks to set up an opportunity for near fall swipes.
Moran already almost racked up a minute of riding time. It's better cross that threshold right now.
It's a great point. 59 seconds as they go out of bounds. And with 1 minute and 2 to wrestle in the first period, we will reset with Moran in the top position.
Ashton Jackson's going to have to look to get one quick here, and a nice little sit out up to his feet. Should be able to cut away from here, and he does. Now Ashton Jackson's got to get to his offense. He's got to limit these ankle attacks from Moran, keep his head and hands down, maybe look to get some snaps going on him, but Moran's not going to make it easy.
45 seconds left to go in first period. Moran, what a wonderful ankle pick, and he turns it into a takedown.
Another one. It's so clean how he gets to those finishes. And now it'll be big if Moran can ride out the end of this period. 30 seconds to do it. But he's going to cut him. Wow.
He has the riding time in his back pocket. It was a major decision if he wanted it, but he's chasing the technical fall, and here could be takedown number 4.
He's got that head in the knee, and he's going to get it. He's got that Turkin now. Can Moran get backs and end this early?
Could he end it before the first period with near fall swipes? We have yet to see. And he will ride out the rest of period number 1 and look for the technical fall in the seconds. It is 12-3, Jacob Moran with the riding time point in his back pocket as well. And we begin the second period.
Moran's going to go on his feet. And let me get this shout out that Jake Moran wanted me to get in case he gets his technical fall. He wanted me to shout out Mama Minnie and Papa Ray in Florida out there watching. Good to see Jake Moran performing on senior night for them.
He's in on a single once again, and it's a takedown. Jacob Moran is up 12, 13 if you count the riding time.
Man, these shots have been impressive. He's moving so well, Moran. He has been all year. He's going to be ready to go for these Big Ten championships.
No doubt. An immediate offense once again. 3 more for Jacob Moran. He's up 14. He's a takedown away from the technical fall.
1 more will do it. And he's going after it right away, not taking his foot off the gas. Ashton Jackson just needs to get 1. If he could just get 1 takedown, he could at least keep this thing from getting to a technical fall. But he just hasn't been able to keep Moran off that same shot. It's been the same shot every time, and there it is again.
It's as if Moran's a little bit too close each and every time, and that time again taking advantage of that proximity and seeking a takedown. Jackson has something to say about that, though, and we may be headed towards a stalemate.
less of a clean finish here. Moran now is going to have to work through this position. He's looking to hook that foot. Now he swims across, but with that arm across the back, it's a little tougher to score. He's got to try to either get danger swipes here or bring that left arm back inside. Yeah, he's hunting crossface. He's going to get it.
So even with resistance, Jacob Moran battles through for a takedown, and he secures the technical fall. 21-5 is the score. That is a 15-plus point difference, and that is 5 team points for the Indiana Hoosiers at 125 pounds.
Man, super impressive. What a send-off for Jake Moran on senior night, and that is exactly the start that the Hoosiers wanted to see. 5 points on the board.
You're absolutely right. Blake Borman has been ranked at certain points this season, currently is not. 133 has been an area of rotation for Indiana. We've seen Jackson Bloom, we've seen Logan Frazier, now we see Blaine Frazier, who of course has wrestled quite a bit this season as well. And so Indiana, not quite sure who their standout wrestler is at 133, but Blaine Frazier's looking to make his mark in that weight class right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Some big decisions to be made and a big match in this duel. Now, Blaine is a strange wrestler, I'll say. He's so lengthy, and he's a guy who can extend any position. So Borman's key is going to be to finish quick. You don't want to get into a scramble with Blaine Frazier.
And we remain in neutral through one period at 133, indicating possibly a tightly contested matchup in the second bout of the night.
Borman doing a good job attacking the head there. That's what you want to do when a guy's on a knee like Blaine Frazier was. You want to get him in this front headlock position and really threaten him. Now, can Borman clear that elbow and turn this into some points? Let's see.
Frazier's going to have something to say about that as he looks to continue Indiana's clean streak of wins to open the duel against Purdue. And Borman does not quite find what he's looking for. Frazier pops back up, and we return to neutral.
Yeah, Borman really likes the double right after initiating the hand fight, but when Blaine Frazier's down on that knee, it makes it hard. So you can't really shoot when a guy's on a knee like that. You can't really power through him. So that's why we've seen him attack these front heads so far. But now you see Blaine Frazier's stance picking up a little bit, and now he's back down to a knee. So he's really trying to decide where he wants to be in this match.
And Borman is a guy that likes to be low. He likes to stay low. He likes to shoot low. So you see kind of that chess match with Frazier on a knee. Frazier remaining low, not allowing space for Borman to initiate that offense. And Frazier's looking to initiate offense of his own as well.
Yeah, I'm sure Borman's watched the film on Frazier. He knows the scramble ability of Frazier, but when you're wrestling a guy, it doesn't mean you have to take a perfect shot, because you're never going to find a perfect shot. So at some point, you got to commit to your attacks and trust your attacks and go get it. Borman looks like he's trying to get there right now.
Some movement in the upper body section of this wrestling match, but we will likely remain scoreless unless one of these wrestlers can break through in the final 20 seconds. Frazier on his knees, low, prowling once again.
Yeah, Borman forcing him to come up by initiating contact, but Frazier seems to have a good game plan going into this match on those knees.
Oh, Borman goes for it, and 3 at the buzzer.
Wow.
Borman got 3 at the buzzer, and he has a lead for the Boilermakers at 133. Unbelievable.
Man, that could not have been any more at the buzzer. Yeah, after what was kind of a lull of a first period, Borman exploded. And now Frazier, he's good on top. Let's see if he could get to work here. He's got that leg in, but he's a little high. Borman's looking to work it out. Seatbelt position. Borman, see how he flipped his hips there? He's in good shape right now. Frazier comfortable from here, though. He really uses that length to his advantage. He's looking cradle. It's more so one of those empty threats right now, though.
Now Borman has a 3-0 lead, but Frazier can establish some level of a response with an accumulation of riding time, which he looks to do now. Under 90 seconds left to go in the second period, and Frazier remains on top.
Yeah, Frazier doing a great job getting him extended right here. Man, he's comfortable in those boots. He's got to be careful not to get too high. but that cradle is what's anchoring him down right now, at least the threat of it. Cross body. Don't be surprised if we see a stalemate in these next 10 seconds here. It's been a lot of riding and not exactly anything close to a turn.
Frazier has ridden for over a minute.
Frazier doing a good job making it look good. That's why we haven't seen a stalemate, because, yeah, he hasn't been close to a turn, but he's really made it look like he's hunting for that cradle.
And Borman is at the moment helpless on bottom. He will be saved by the bell in 30 seconds as he will take the top position to begin the third period. But Frazier is certainly in control with his turn on top.
And there's a stalemate. That's a long minute 40 till the stalemate. That speaks to how Blaine Frazier was. It's the optics of the match, Andrew. A lot of it's about optics. And now this is Borman's chance. 20 seconds, going down, fresh start. He knows Frazier's looking for that leg, so look for him to try to catch that leg as it's coming in. Be methodical down there, keep that from coming in. But now it's in.
And that beginning of action looks very similar to the very beginning of the second period, which likely indicates that Frazier's gonna ride. He's looking for near fall swipes if he can get the turn. Borman defends, and Frazier will ride for an entire 2 minutes. Borman will not receive a riding time point, regardless of how the third period goes. And Frazier has an opportunity to stab back and maybe steal a win.
Yeah, Frazier going underneath now. Essentially a 3-1 match, could be a 3-2 match if he gets out in under a minute, maybe look for a stalling point. That ride out gives Frazier some options.
Now Borman has an opportunity to be on top, but Frazier escapes right away. Borman was looking for a mat return. Frazier didn't let him have it.
Yeah, Frazier felt the mat return come and hit that switch as soon as he hit his butt. And
Borman.
There's that double from Borman. That's what he's looking for. I'd be curious to know what the Purdue coaches are yelling right now, because this is a spot where they were probably thinking they could have some bonus points, maybe a major decision coming their way, but right now, Borman's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get there, and Frazier's putting on the pressure.
We've seen Borman prove that he can score from neutral.
Oh.
Have we seen that from Frazier? Frazier on defense now, he's on the back foot.
And this is where that length of Frazier's coming in play. Borman was in deep in that upper body. Now we're in a waterfall position, looking to put that foot across and hook it. Frazier really over the top right now. It's a tough position for Borman to turn into points, but he's trying to figure it out. Yeah, now he's gonna look to hook that foot with his left leg, but now it's bent. Frazier's like Gumby out there. He can bend in every direction.
And remember, time is ticking. There are 35 seconds left to wrestle. Frazier has riding time all locked up. So an escape or a takedown right here, anything is enough to at least send this to sudden victory or potentially steal a win for Frazier.
Wow. Yeah, and at this point in the match, major is not happening for Borman, so you can see in that position he didn't want to take too much of any risk in any direction, knowing how good Frazier is in the scrambles, because at this point, it's just about holding on for the regular decision.
Can Frazier steal a takedown and steal a win? There is stalling called on Borman. That's a warning.
Frazier chasing him. Borman's in deep.
And 3 for Borman. And Purdue will respond to Moran's technical fall with a regular decision win at 133. It's Blake Borman going on the road and winning over the Hoosier.
Wow, what a match. First period, Borman gets that at the end of the period. Gets ridden out in the second and comes back. Statement win with that double at the end. Really powerful.
It is Clark. So brief glitch on the scoreboard, but it's Porter and Clark, a ranked battle at 141. Dan, what are you looking for in this one?
Yo, this is interesting because these guys have wrestled 3 times last season. The series is in favor of Clark right now. Clark is 2-1 against Henry Porter. He won by decision, and then he lost by decision. So they split decisions, but then in their third and most recent match at the end of last season, it was a tech fall for Grayson Clark. Got a lot of those points in the top position. So what I'm looking for is what happens in the second or third period when Henry Porter goes underneath. Does he go underneath? What are we going to see? Grayson Clark take top? Because Clark is very good from the top position.
And so certainly the first period where both start from neutral is going to be important for Porter if he can put some points on the board ahead of that point when Clark may have the opportunity to take the top position. They go out of bounds and they'll reset with 2:20 left to wrestle. No advantage has been established quite yet, but here comes Porter in on a single. Clark defending. Can Porter complete the takedown?
Slip to the high C now. Porter's got to keep that shoulder in the hip, and now he's got the double across. Yeah, Clark can scramble, man. He's so good in there, and he gets it.
Lunging that foot backwards to stay safely in bounds and securing the takedown at the boundary, where it seemed for a moment as if Porter was about to establish that takedown. Instead, it's Clark with 3 points.
And now Porter's going underneath like we just talked about, Andrew. I mean, this is going to be big. We'll learn a lot in these 30 seconds underneath. Has Porter made the adjustments to be able to get out quick on Clark? This could be a big moment in this match.
Clark sits and looks to be in prime position on top to garner some riding time.
And here's where Clark likes to be with that 2-on-1 and this bar tilt going back here. It's a funky position. He's not going exactly traditional tilt with it, but he's putting Porter in danger.
So Porter will have to be aware of the possibility of near fall swipes while Clark accumulates riding time on top. And he is having his way from that position.
And Porter already, we missed it, we brushed over it, but Porter got hit with a stall call on his feet when they went out of bounds those first 40 seconds. So if he can't build up to his base here and at least keep the refs off his back, next one will be a point.
Clark looking for a turn. Porter doing a good job staying up, but will it last? That's one swipe, there's two.
Oh.
He's looking for a pin, but he's gonna have near fall points either way. And he will return, it'll be 2 for Clark. 2 near fall points as they return back to a typical top position, no pin occurring.
Man, that was a sneaky one. It was one of those where ref goes one swipe, but then Clark powered through and got the 2 swipes and 2 more points.
But it was certainly a moment where it looked like it could have been 3 or 4, and Clark will look to do just that here in the last 20 seconds of the first period. Can he do so? Time will tell.
Yeah, so after how this, and there's a stall, it's going to be another point for Clark. So after how this last 2 minutes have gone, if I'm Coach Escobedo, I would not put Henry Porter underneath Grayson Clark again. I would keep this match on the feet. And if I'm the Coach Ursuline, I might think about putting Clark on top.
So with 2 minutes of riding time and 6 points on the board, Grayson Clark certainly emerging from the first period triumphant. But as you mentioned, where these wrestlers start in the second and third period is going to be critical, and it'll be neutral in the second.
Porter's going to have to get back. He was looking good on the feet in that first period up until that takedown. He's got to be ready for that scramble ability of Clark. He's going to get in again. He's going to have an opportunity, but can he finish? And he's looking here.
Porter wants it. But we're back in a battle from neutral between Porter and Clark, this time towards the center of the mat.
With that elbow stuck in there, it's going to be tough to score, and yeah, there's a stalemate.
It looked like it was headed that way. Oftentimes when you have one wrestler go in on a shot, the other wrestler expertly defend it, it's headed towards a stalemate as neither have anywhere left to go. And so we will reset the second period.
Especially when those elbows get tied up. It's something we work on in the room so much. Every program all across the country is working on clearing those elbows from the front head. But for some reason, it's like it works when you're drilling it, but then you get out there and man, those guys can grip the elbow pretty tight. It's a hard position to clear. Porter's got the elbow now underneath. Let's see what Clark has in mind to clear it.
Porter still looking for any semblance of points, as Clark has 6 and likely 7 with the riding time as well. But we remain in neutral. 40 seconds left to go in the second period, and this neutral position is a prime opportunity for Porter to score a takedown if he's going to score a takedown at all in this bout.
Yeah, this is a big moment for Porter if he can get in on one. Would like to see him get back to those doubles like he was in that ended up being a Grayson Clark point. But if you could get in there and get 2 legs and finish quick, that's Porter's path to a takedown right now.
15 seconds in the second period, and still no advantage established for Henry Porter of the Indiana Hoosiers on his senior night.
Interested to see what decision the Purdue coaches make. Will they put Clark underneath? Porter's pretty good on top himself. Let's see what they do.
So it remains 6-0 Clark with 2 minutes of riding time plus accumulated on the side of the Boilermakers, and it will be Henry Porter on top. So Dan, what does this mean for the third period and the rest of this bout?
I think this is actually a smart decision by the Purdue coaches, because if Grayson Clark can get out in under a minute and then not give up a takedown, he's going to have the major secured, which would be huge for this duel in the team race. But Porter is tough on top himself. Clark likes to do some unorthodox rolling around in there. Right now, keeping it traditional. I saw when he went underneath, I saw the Purdue coach yell, just one, because Grayson Clark's a guy that likes to look for reversals. But right now, he just needs one in under 40 seconds to get this major.
And Porter now likely not aware of the idea of him potentially going for a win, but rather looking to keep this loss to just a regular decision for his team and for his own record. They go out of bounds, will reset. Can Porter ride out the entirety of this third period is the question for the Hoosiers.
I bet Porter still wants to win. I bet Coach Escobedo is still willing to take that risk, and now he's going optional start. He's gonna cut him here. I thought he would ride another 30 seconds, get that under a minute before cutting him, but he's gonna go for it now.
Of course, it's appreciated to have as much time as possible to score those critical takedowns.
That is a big gamble for Porter and for Coach Escobedo. Let's see if it pays off, because right now, Grayson Clark is sitting on a major decision.
That's a whole lot of confidence in the Hoosier wrestler, but confidence that's not misplaced. Porter, number 25 in the country, expected to be in the national championships in Cleveland in just a few weeks. So Porter's certainly someone capable of securing this win.
Yeah, this is a match I bet you'll see again at the Big Ten Championships as well. These guys battled a lot throughout their careers.
They go out of bounds, will reset with under a minute left to wrestle once again. And yes, you mentioned on the campus of Penn State University, the Big Ten Championships in just a few weeks, where both Porter and Clark will fight for a spot in the NCAA Championships. But they fight now as headgear falls off the head of Grayson Clark, and we reset.
Porter's gonna have to go for it here. He's got 44 seconds. He needs a takedown. He needs to save this team point. How is he gonna do it? I think his best bet is to get in from that double.
He got close, but well defended by Clark that time.
30 seconds remaining.
30 seconds to do it.
And this is a great position for Clark to be in this front head. It's a great way to close out a match. Make it look like you're still trying to score, avoid the stalemate, keep things moving. Clark doing a nice job right now.
Time on the side of the visitors. Approaching 10 seconds left to wrestle, and we have a stalemate. Will reset. So one last opportunity for Porter to score.
12 seconds. Let's see what he does with it.
5 seconds now. Porter running out of time. Well defended by Clark. And that will do it. Porter not able to establish a threatening shot at the end of the third period, and it will be a major decision victory for Purdue. 7 points plus 1 riding time point. That makes 8 points. That makes a major decision. So those bonus points as we approach the heavier weights are going to prove even more critical. Purdue now has a lead 7-5, but now it's 149. It's Joey Butler and it's number 30, Gavin Brown. What are you looking for in this one?
And this is one of my favorite toss-ups of the match. Joey Butler and his beautiful hair out there. It's bouncing around. He's ready to scrap. I mean, for Joey Butler, a lot of what's been talked about with him in the second half of the year is to choose your scrambles wisely. Joey Butler has sometimes lived in Funky Town a little too much. Coach Escobedo has said, I want him to use that skill strategically more in the third period when you really need to extend a position. Because inherently, when you're going to Funky Town, you're taking some risk to do it. So it's not really worth it in the first period. We've saw him lose some matches by going to Funky Town in the first period. So look for Butler to keep it traditional in this first period and then break out that scramble ability later in the match.
A great example was the loss via fall at Penn State for Butler, but he certainly learned from that. As you mentioned, a big win at Wisconsin. He was a part of that triumph for Indiana, but now he's in trouble against the ranked Gavin Brown. Brown has a hold of that left leg. Butler slips out, and we return to neutral. Butler survives.
Yeah, we just saw it right there. Gavin Brown's favorite shot, that straight-on righty single. He likes space, but he also, when he gets in close, he clings on real hard. So look for Butler to use one of those ties to clear him to get to his offense. Look for Brown to shoot from space like we saw right there.
Under 90 seconds left to wrestle in the first period. Again, Butler coming off a loss against Nebraska, but a big-time win at Wisconsin. And we have a stoppage from the officials for a moment.
A little eye poke there, incidental eye poke. Gavin Brown looking to regain his vision. It's important to be able to see when you're wrestling.
Absolutely.
Gavin Brown, his stance is so weird to me, Andrew. I mean, he's kind of on his heels a lot. At least that's what it looks like. But you can see his hips are always loaded and ready to go. But he does kind of straight-legged, a little on his heels in the back. It's just a strange little nuance to the stance that you don't see too often.
But it seems to be working for him so far this season. Of course, ranked number 30 right there in the mix. He's in on a takedown opportunity. They say no. Butler flips that right leg back. They put a 3 in the air and then immediately waved it off as Butler manages to defend. And now we'll see if he can defend for the rest of this period. Not quite. That's 3 for Gavin Brown and 3 for Purdue.
That was a sniper shot from Gavin Brown. He saw that ankle there and he took it. Impressive job to finish on the tough Joey Butler.
Absolutely. Butler didn't want to let him have it, and he did a great job in putting forth that effort. But as you mentioned, there's Brown, and now Butler slips out right away, and he's looking to get revenge.
Joey Butler stalking him down now, looking to close that gap, get his hands on Brown, but he doesn't want to end up in that clingy sort of position that Brown is comfortable in. Joey Butler wants to keep his hands moving. As he's in now, he's in deep crackdown position. Can Joey Butler get that right arm across? He's looking to float his hips over. Out of time.
Out of time. They say no takedown, and at the buzzer, that will be all there is to say about the first period. And now we move to the second, and it looks like it's going to be Butler on bottom first. Gavin Brown on top. We'll see if Butler can escape quickly again.
Yeah, he did so in that last position there. But now Gavin Brown looking to suck him back. Ooh, that was close. And a nice cutaway from Joey Butler.
So Butler escapes without too much resistance once again.
Oh, that's the same sniper shot as before.
Butler in the waterfall. Can he wriggle his way out of this one?
And now we're scrambling. Gavin Brown, a little bit of a mistake chasing waist there. Joey Butler looking to rotate. He has that far ankle. Now we're in a far ankle scramble. Joey Butler's going to look to kick in the armpit and clear that foot. We see Joey Butler's right leg in the armpit. He's kicking. He's kicking. Can he get it free?
It's going to be close. 1 minute and 15 in the second period. Plenty of time for this position to be carried through. The IU crowd wants 3. The officials disagree for the moment.
Yeah, it's not going to be 3 as long as Gavin Brown keeps a hold of that ankle. He's hanging on for dear life right now. You got to imagine the tape on the elbow is giving Joey Butler's foot a little extra grip, but we're stalemated.
A stalemate, and we will return to the center of the mat from neutral. Butler down 3-2 in the second period. He's looking to swipe the lead away from the Boilermaker.
Joey Butler's got to make an adjustment. It's been that same shot twice from Brown, really darting, sniping that ankle. Joey Butler's got to keep his left foot moving. He's got to feel that coming.
We're approaching funky down territory for Joey Butler. The first period is over with, and now it's time for Butler to wrestle the way he wrestles best. Can he do so against Brown?
Yeah, he might start getting into it. He's got to create some chaos if he wants to get there.
Under 20 seconds left to wrestle, and for that chaos to be created by Butler before we head to the third period. This is one of those critical toss-ups. The Boilermakers as a team lead 7-5. Brown leads 3-2 at 1:49, and maybe more. Not quite. They go out of bounds before Brown can secure the takedown.
Ooh, that was close. That was close. He didn't run out of time. It was because Joey Butler landed and got that foot free. That saved him from the takedown. And this is going to be a big third period, Andrew. I mean, like you said, this is one of those crucial toss-ups in this duel. Purdue already in a 7-5 lead with that bonus point coming at 141. This is big.
At the end of this match, regardless of who wins, I imagine we will look back on this moment right here in terms of which wrestler was able to help the team's effort in grabbing a dual meet victory. Butler is riding. He will return the riding time to effectively neutral.
Whoa.
And now we scramble. Here's Funky Town.
Man, dove right over him, got free.
Out of bounds and will reset with 93 seconds left to wrestle. Is Butler able to score the winning takedown? He's down 4-2 right now.
Coach Escobedo, I saw him yelling double, double. He wants to see Joey Butler in deep. Can he get there? That high crotch has been there, but he hasn't quite got a full hold of it. Would like to see him mix in some snaps here, mix in some front headlock threatens. He's hunting for that outside step, he's in! Double, he's got it across!
He's got one, he's got two. Does he have enough for a takedown?
Now we're in a single, it's elevated shelf. Gavin Brown diving underneath. Wow, Gavin Brown just saved himself there, but will it last? Joey Butler's got to get his weight over that left foot, and it's close. Joey Butler maybe thinking about danger right now, and he's got it.
There's three for Joey Butler, and the Hoosiers have the lead at 149. How entertaining is this?
Wow, I'm surprised we have not seen a brick. I see Coach Ursulin's reaching for the brick. We're gonna need a replay of this, because man, that was close, I don't know.
Ursulin is threatening throwing the brick for a challenge, and it looks like they will take a look either way.
Yeah.
Escobedo has something to say.
And we're gonna, so that was not where and they say no takedown, they reversed it.
The IU crowd chanting Butler's name, but they do not receive the call that they sought.
And Joey Butler's waving him back on the mat. He said, let's wrestle, I'm ready to go. You feel the energy in this building, Andrew?
Absolutely. Butler's won the body language contest. Can he win the wrestling contest with Gavin Brown?
He's got 30 seconds to do it. He's chasing hard. Brown clinging on. He's diving in. They're out of bounds.
Funky position, but as you mentioned, outside the circle, and we reset.
Joey Butler's looking for that outside step, high C. He's trying to bait Gavin right into it. There's a stall call. It's not going to matter. Oh, Joey Butler's in. He's in this single. Can he shove it and get up to his feet? 15 seconds.
He's got one ankle. Can he grab two in 10 seconds? Joey Butler, does he have the three? He has the three. He did it. Joey Butler's going to win it. And the IU crowd is elated. Joey Butler heads him up at 149. The Indiana Hoosiers have a win, and a ranked upset for Joey Butler at the end of the season.
What a finish for Joey Butler. He was in so many times that he
For the Purdue Boilermakers, what are you looking for in this one, Dan?
Yo, this is another one of those 50-50 toss-ups. Stony Buell getting after it early. Stony Buell, very solid, traditional wrestler, and he's throwing him by here. He's going to get this takedown right away. Impressive start. Man, after a match like that versus Butler, the energy when these guys go out there, I'm telling you, I know it's an individual sport, but something like that happens, the energy, there's something you just can't describe. You can't put it into words. It's otherworldly, but you could feel it when you go out there. And I'm telling you, both these guys, when they were warming up, hear this crowd, the energy is different when they go out there.
Absolutely. The most energizing match against Nebraska was the last one in heavyweight, with Kowalski standing up to A.J. Ferrari, but now it's squarely in the middle, and someone like Lowry has the opportunity to benefit from it. But now Buell's in the lead, 3-0 with the time on top.
Yeah, he's in this head lever position. Lowry's gonna have to clear that waist hand before he can do anything from down here. Stony Buell threatening a turn. He's going to get it here. Swipe's coming.
That's going to be 4 near fall swipes for Buell. And he may be looking for more right at the boundary. That's 4, and they will be driven out of bounds. But Lowry automatically in a tough spot. And shout out to Buell here because, again, that Indiana crowd was at maximum volume, and Buell has brought that right back down to 0.
Yeah, this is exactly what Purdue needed. I mean, you can imagine if Lowry would have come out here and got out to a 7-0 start, it feels like the train's leaving the station. But Buell did a nice job coming out here, controlling his emotions and momentum, getting on the board early. Not just a takedown, but he got those backs too. 51 seconds of riding time. Lowry's going to have to get this escape point and start building back.
So Buell's up 7-0, and he's looking for a minute of riding time as he swiftly returns Lowry back to the mat.
Yeah, this head lever position is tough for Lowry, and last time that's how we ended up in that 2-on-1 tilt, so he's got to be conscious of that. Because as much as you want to take the risk to get up and get out, you can't give up another turn in this period.
At times against highly ranked wrestlers this season, Buell has been out-muscled, but this time that is certainly not him as Lowry inches his way out of bounds after not quite being able to escape.
Man, I would have liked to see Lowry. He was kicking away, getting those swipes for the stall call. If he would have changed trajectory and back into the center of the mat, he could have earned that stall call, but see if he makes that adjustment here. Looks like he's starting to figure out how to get out from here. Now, can he do it? Here he goes.
Lowry with the escape, so Buell does not ride out the rest of the first period, but he has now 88 seconds of riding time. Certainly formidable at this point as Lowry looks for a responsive offense.
Buell wants those underhooks. That's how we saw him get that. You know, it looked like an easy takedown. He got the underhook, threw him by. Lowry's felt it now. He's got to make those adjustments, keep those elbows sealed to his ribs, make sure that Buell can't get back to that position. But here goes Buell with it right now, but it's a looser underhook right now. We see it's shallow on the shoulder, not exactly across the back. And Lowry likes those shots from space. He doesn't want to be in too tight. He wants to move a guy, get weight on a foot, and take a similar shot to how Gavin Brown was taking in the last match. We'll see if he could do it.
The lead between these two squads has been exchanged hands, bout after bout after bout. Buell is looking to swipe it back to the side of the visitors. And with 10 seconds left in the first period, he seems to be in prime position to do so. But Lowry's going to have something to say about that. If we've seen anything, if we've learned anything from the wrestling so far, it's that these Hoosiers and these Boilermakers, but especially these Hoosiers, are not going to let an early deficit define them. And the first period concludes with 7-1.
Nothing's easy, Andrew. Nothing would be fun if it was easy. And Lowry's going to go down here. I like that decision from Coach Escobedo. Seems like Lowry figured out how to deal with Buell's top game. Seems like he's got it figured out to keep that head lever from coming in. And he's up to his feet right away here.
There's a swift mat return from Buell as he accumulates more riding time. It's tricky for Lowry. He got the escape in the first period, and then at the beginning of the second period, he's right back on bottom, but he escapes once again before 20 seconds pass.
Yeah, closing the gap there. especially coming off that mat return. It could have got ugly, but he did a nice job bouncing right back up. But now he's got to get on his offense here. If you're Lowry, you got to find your way, and there he goes, he's looking for it. You got to find your way to that low ankle shot. So you don't want to sit there and swing heavy punches with Buell. That's Buell's game.
Lowry's in. Can Buell defend it?
Buell looking for this crotch lock. Lowry did a nice job getting that left hit to the mat. Buell's got those feet crossed. Can Lowry separate those feet? Stalemate.
Lowry waving his hands in the air. It was clear that neither wrestler was going to be able to advance their position that time. And it is 7-2, 8-2 with the right time. Lowry with the quick shot.
Wow. Right off the whistle. Now we're in Funky Town. Lowry looking to kick that ankle.
Now can he turn him and potentially respond with near fall points? It's a stalemate before that thought even enters the mind. But Lowry with a great opportunity.
Two quick stalemates from this referee, I would say. Not necessarily bad calls, it's just something you got to take note of as a wrestler, because you got to know, if I'm in, I better move quick before the stalemate comes.
The Indiana crowd on its feet once again. It was at max volume for Butler. It was brought right back down to 0 by Buell, and now Lowry is incrementally bringing that volume back up as he looks for a comeback win.
Yeah, you feel the momentum shifting a little bit. No points yet, but now Lowry's in. Can he get it this time? Head outside, getting that foot across. He's got to hook it. He's got to hook it, and he hooks it with that right leg. Now he's got to peel off that top. He's punching the knee. Got to get his head across. Now can he get that left arm through and finish this takedown? It's not free yet. He's got to get the left arm through and collect 2 legs.
But he's going to be out of time. And the second period ends before any further scoring can occur. And there's a challenge brick in the hand of an assistant on the Indiana bench.
Same as before, the threat of the bricks makes the referee say, you know what, I'm going to go look at it myself. But man, I forgot there was a clock, Andrew. I wish there wasn't a clock sometimes. I wish we could just see wrestling non-stop 24/7 until someone breaks. But we have clocks for a reason, and we're going to review on this takedown. I couldn't tell from up here in this angle whether Lowry had his left arm across and collected 2 legs or not. If he's got both legs, I'm saying takedown. If he doesn't have both legs, no takedown.
Well, you know, Dan, I agree. I mean, you were in the zone there. I would have loved to hear you describe that position as it was carried through, but nonetheless, the third period will begin. They will reset, and it will be 7-2 for Purdue.
Quick review there, no takedown. Buell chooses down. Lowry says, let's get right back on our feet right away. He's been in. Can he finish one? He's going to need 3 takedowns to get this done. A lot of work to do, but Lowry's going to go for it.
And on the other side, if he allows 1 takedown, it's a major decision for Buell.
That's a great point.
So obviously you're looking for offense, but got to be careful on defense as well.
Lowry in again, same position as before. All right, we're back here. Hook the ankle. Now he's already has the knee popped across, but as we see here, his left arm is the problem right now. He's got to get that left arm under and through, and there it is. I'm saying that's 3. It's coming if it hasn't been called already.
The IU bench agrees, but it's not yet called.
You know what it is, Andrew? It's this crotch lock of Buell that's keeping him alive right now, but still, if Lowry can get on his toes, power across, he's looking to threaten danger right now. Danger swipes 1, 2, 3, and there's the takedown.
At last, a takedown for Lowry. That crotch grip seemed to be as strong as you could possibly ask for, but the Indiana bench remains active after 3 points are added to the tally for Lowry.
So Lowry wants to cut him right now, but Buell is saying, I'm going to hold on to this leg and waste some time. Dangerous game for Buell to play as we see Lowry looking to lock up a cradle. He hasn't, no, he doesn't have it locked. Yeah, Coach Escobedo's saying, cut him. Lowry's saying, I want to, but I can't. He's got my leg. And the ref's going to stalemate it.
Incredible analysis, Dan. This is about as entertaining of a match as the last one, and the last one felt like the most entertaining bout I've ever seen.
Just gets better and better.
And we still have 5 more to go after this.
Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Lowry's been in. Can he get back to it now? Buell wants his underhooks. And even that shallow underhook is enough. Oh, and Lowry's in again. And another stall call. But only 20 seconds.
So that's 1 on Lowry. That's game-changing because a takedown will even this one up. But remember, the riding time on the side of Buell. So Buell has the win unless Lowry can get 2 takedowns in 10 seconds, and that's a lot to So remember the first period, it's Stony Buell's takedown, and he rode for a long while, and that's the difference in this one.
13 seconds is the difference, Andrew. 13 seconds. That's how tight of a match this was. This is Big Ten wrestling. Everything comes down to millimeters, microseconds, and Stony Buell got it done.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the
A
action.
little high there right off the bat. He was in good position. He's got to make an adjustment to keep his hips down in those spots. Now he's in on this swim high C.
Can Lillard turn one leg into two? Will Blaze be taken down for the first time this season?
Can Ty do it? All those legs are over the top. That might, it's close to 3 for Blaze now with those legs over the top. Nothing yet. Wow, this is where you see Blaze so creative to get to this position and hold on for a stalemate. Crafty stuff from Blaze. He was dead to rights, but he found a way to get over the top, throw those legs in.
You've got to work to be ranked number 3 at 165. Blaze has certainly put in those efforts. And we're all knotted up at 3.
So there was that swim high C from Lillard. Let's see if he can get to his underhooks now. Let's see if he can get those underhooks, look for something clean.
Remember the clock, Dan. 20 seconds left in the second period.
The clock does exist, unfortunately. We see this chess match, these guys, what's going on with their hands here. Blaze looking for this Russian tie, Ty keeping his head on the side of it. It looks like we're going to go to this third period all knotted up.
3-3 will be the score at the outset of the third period between number 3, Joey Blaze, and number 17, Tyler Lillard. We had a great first 5 matches, and if this is any indication, the second set of 5 matches is going to be just as entertaining.
This is turning out to be a good one, Andrew. I mean, if I'm Lillard here, I don't know if I'm committing to this ride too hard, because you don't want to get reversed by Blaze. I'd be content with cutting him here, and yeah, let's get it done on the feet.
It's tricky because against the very best, they're dangerous, and it's dangerous to take risks, but you kind of have to take risks to be the very best. Sometimes it works out, oftentimes it doesn't. Will it work out for Lillard down by 1? We have yet to see.
Just like life, Andrew, wrestling is an analogy for life. You got to take the risks, and who's going to do it now?
Riding time likely not a factor as far as the scoreboard goes the rest of the way. Just 4 seconds accumulated by Blaze.
So we see this whole match, everything started from these guys holding hands with that right hand, but trust me, it's not a nice let's hold hands. They're both doing that, looking for reactions, looking for something to move, make the guy move and get in on a spot. And now Blaze hitting the stall call with a minute left. This could get interesting.
That's huge because Lillard needs a takedown at the moment, but if that's a stalling point later on, that's a point for Lillard and it will be evened up.
And now Blaze, yeah, collected that elbow on the front head. We're back on our feet. 50 seconds, this could get interesting.
Lillard scampers outside. Blaze luring him back in.
Lillard's got to get to the center right now. Lillard's got to get to the center. Blaze is in now, looking to pull this in.
And here's that defensive Lillard flexibility showing itself at the edge of the mat.
Man, a little bit of a lapse there from Ty Lillard, hanging out on his knees on the edge of the mat. And now he's, with 25 seconds, he's going to have to take a risk here if he wants a chance.
Lillard wants the right leg, 20 seconds, you're right. Does Lillard have it in him?
Joey Blaze doing a nice job killing clock here, avoiding the stalemate by continuing to advance his position. He knows if he can hold on for 6 more seconds, he's going to get it done.
Lillard may be out of time. Blaze is on the leg. No stalling point awarded. And that's the way this one ends. 4-3, Joey Blaze with a massive win for Purdue. And the lead for the Boilermakers is extended.
And what a chess match. Joey Blaze continues to get it done. Still yet to be taken down. He was close to getting taken down, but now he's pumping up. The Boilermakers in the building. The Hoosier fans giving it right back to him. Man, the energy's high in here.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Rowley looks to be on the verge of something, but the officials jump in and say that the safety of the wrestlers will supersede it. And that's certainly the right way to approach a matchup as hotly contested as this one.
And we're going to see another review, Andrew. Man, I love going to these replays. I don't really see an argument for no takedown, but it looks like the refs just waved it off. I'm going to have to see this one again, because when I saw it on the mat, that looked pretty clear to me. It was a question of back points. Maybe that's what they're reviewing, the back points. We'll see. Oh, no. Well, we've taken off the scoreboard. I'm surprised, Andrew, because when you have that leg Turk, I mean, here it is. This looks like control to me. Gowen's looking for back points there. I would think when you have that leg Turk in, especially with those crossed, and then you jump up to a crossface with the hips covered, I'm surprised to see this one waved off. We'll see what happens here. But now with it being waved off, I guess the burden of proof shifts to the other side of the coin. I don't know, Andrew.
Tricky. And again, ultimately, there's two men in black and blue that have to make the decision. And I'm sure they're thinking the same thing we're thinking of. Oh boy, I don't know.
Another tough one, but it looks like they've made their decision. No points. Wow. I just don't get it sometimes, Andy, because we go back to that Ty Lillard knee-tapped takedown, but hey, we're back to wrestling. Enough questioning calls here. Gowen's looking cradle. Oh, but he lost the cradle. Now he's looking. Wow.
Unbelievable. Rowley has control of the right knee of Gowen. Gowen looking for a waterfall position. It's dangerous. No takedown yet for Purdue.
Oh, Gowen overcommitted to that a little bit. He was so close, and now Rowley's in the better position. Weird far ankle scramble in between the legs. They're tied up. Maybe a stalemate coming. No, Gowen's looking to rotate back into him. And Gowen keeping that hand in. Can he keep the hand in?
He's doing so far. And that's 3 for Gowen.
Wow.
At the boundary. In the discipline to keep the hand inside the circle while going for such a pivotal moment.
What a turn of events, and you can see the gears turning in Gowen's head like, wait, how can I stay in bounds with the hand? And again, the hand doesn't have to be on the mat. In the air and above the line is enough, and Gowen knew it. Watch this hand of Gowen. Look at that right hand. It's on the mat. He's like, oh, I got to keep it in. I got to keep reaching. But he's got to keep those hips square, too, and he gets it done. Wow, what a sequence.
And with 1 second on the clock as well, the scoreboard in here still says 3-1, although I didn't see a motion of anything being waved off.
Well, yeah, Gowen got that takedown there. No back points in that position. And now we're on to the third period. Gowen looking to get this quick escape.
You're right, Dan. He got 1 swipe, but not enough for 2, and so will remain at 3-1 for Sam Gowen. A monumental move, nonetheless, as the third period begins. And now it starts fair and square. Here's Rowley on top.
I mean, that sequence really represents the story of this whole duel so far. One guy's so close to scoring, another guy's so close to scoring, then somebody comes out on top. Man, it's been incredible wrestling. Gowen kicking away here is going to get this escape. Rowley's got some work to do.
Gowen escapes, and you're right, someone has to win in the margins. It's not going to come clearly. It's going to happen in those little moments stacked on top of one another. So far, it's Gowen. Does Rowley have a response? We have 90 seconds to find out.
And now especially is when Gowen's got to be conscious of his hand fight, knowing that Rowley wants to dive in from it. Gowen in on the legs here, looking to add to his lead. Similar position that we've seen a few times in this duel. Gowen looking to not overcommit because Rowley's got that crotch lock. He doesn't want to get rolled through. Gowen looking to collect that far leg, peel it off. It's going to be close.
1 minute left to wrestle. A funky scramble position right here.
Again, this is a great position for Gowen to keep the clock rolling, keep advancing this position, and tick-tock, tick-tock. Gowen, he's going to get it. He's got 2 legs now.
There it is, 3 for Gowen. 7-1 for the Hoosier at 184. And if this result holds, Indiana will retake the lead. He's looking for more.
The bench thought about it for a little bit, then they started yelling, cut him, and now I think they've rescinded that. No, now they're yelling, they're saying, cut him, we want one more, we want the major. But Goins like, I have this arm bar, can't I just get a turn? The coaches really want him to cut him, but Goins thinks he could get a turn. 12 seconds. And now Goins gonna cut him, but it's a little too late.
Rowley may want a reversal, it will not matter. Sam Goins with a 7-1 regular decision swings the lead back to the side of the Indiana Hoosiers. It is 14-13 Indiana. 2 bouts left to be wrestled.
Just a tactical match by Sam Goins. He knew exactly what Rowley was looking for and made those adjustments not to overcommit to the hand fight. Found himself in on his legs and found a way to score.
On one side, it is number 22, Gabe Saulers for Indiana, and on the other side, it is the freshman, Noah Weaver.
Man, I just love Gabe Saulers' walkout song. The Irish horns going on there, the bagpipes. You know, music plays a big role in wrestling. What guys listened to before. Everybody listens to something different. Man, I love music. I love it so much I wrote a book about it, Musicology. Go check it out, but here we go. Gabe Saulers.
Saulers with an early takedown.
And he's on top, and now this is where Gabe is dangerous. On top, he's got that arm locked up across the back.
And to think, you have a redshirt junior and a ranked wrestler in Gabe Saulers against a freshman. Indiana wants bonus points. Near false wides for Saulers.
Can Gabe put it away? If he could get a pin, that would close the duel out. Oh man, tough position for Weaver to be in with that far ankle collected. Whoa!
Hoosiers win! Gabe Saulers with the pin, and it's over! We have a heavyweight bout to wrestle for, but Indiana will walk away victorious.
Gabe Saulers closes the duel. Oh my goodness! In what's been such a back and forth match where you never knew what was going to happen, Gabe Saulers comes out under a minute. He gets the fall. Oh my goodness! What a way to do it! Gabe Saulers did it.
Indiana has locked up the duel with a 20-13 lead, but the heavyweights are on the mat. Dan, what are you looking for between Filipovic and Kowalski?
Well, really looking for Kowalski to build on his performance last week versus the great A.J. Ferrari. You know, lost that one tight, but as you wrote a great piece about, I mean, that was a good match.
Absolutely. And immediately Kowalski slamming Filipovic, but not quite able to establish an advantage. 2 unranked wrestlers, but 2 great ones. I mean, if you extended the rankings, I imagine both of these guys would be in that conversation. Kowalski stepping up from 197 to sort of fill the vacancy at 285 for Indiana. And another statement win opportunity against Filipovic, possibly on the way.
Yeah, Kowalski really has stepped up to fill this weight for the Hoosiers. Found a way to do it. And let's check this weigh-in sheet. I love the weigh-in sheet at heavyweights because, like you said, Kowalski bumping up from 97. He weighed in at 202.4. And then you got Filipovic, 235.4. 33-pound difference between these two. And especially with Filipovic, how he loves that upper body, that could come into play.
Absolutely. Such a strange weight class because from 198 to 285, it could be anywhere within that range. These 2 close relative to the large scale, but you mentioned 30 pounds is a lot of pounds, and you don't notice it until it's on top of you. And we'll see if Kowalski can prevent Filipovic from getting on top of him here in the first period.
I've known one heavyweight who cut weight in my life. We had a heavyweight, Dan Herman at Columbia, who at one year he was cutting down from like 300 to 285. It's a wild weight when you get up that big.
And then you have guys like Kowalski and A.J. Ferrari that bump up from 197, and they're wrestling former 300-pounders. 1 minute left in the first period. Filipovic driving forward and stalling is caught on Kowalski.
Yeah, Filipovic did a great job there finding that double unders where he likes to be. And you get to those double unders, you kind of have two decisions. Either back up and give up the stall call or stay in and fight it. And then you're risking going on Filipovic Airlines.
Under a minute. A brutal battle between the heavyweights. The Purdue bench certainly subdued compared to its active nature from earlier in the duel. Sollers' pin, swinging momentum to the side of the Hoosiers for good. Kowalski could apply an exclamation point, or perhaps Filipovic could provide the Boilermakers with a silver lining. 4.5 minutes to wrestle for that result.
Filipovic has done a good job so far finding those underhooks. Kowalski's going to have to make the adjustments and keep those elbows zipped to his ribs when we get in here. You see those hands of Filipovic going wild looking for that underhook. Kowalski looking to adjust.
And we will likely run out the first period clock with these two squarely even at 0. 4 minutes left to wrestle between Indiana and Purdue, and it's at the heavyweight bout. All knotted up at nothing between Kowalski and Filipovic. Dan, as these two wrestlers prepare to be on top and on bottom, what's the key for both sides moving forward in this bout?
Yeah, well, really, Kowalski's going to have to find a way to separate Filipovic butt from his heels. But Filipovic out right away. Man, it's tough, you know. I'm excited for this match. I love all wrestling, but man, what we've just seen all the way up from 125 to 197 is one of the most exciting things I've ever been a part of. I was kind of hoping it would come down to this heavyweight match for some big finish, but man, that pin was a big enough finish. What a match it's been.
You're absolutely right. And still, it's 1-0. We're right here even between the heavyweights. But this will certainly be a night to look back on. A great way to end the season for Wilkinson Hall. A great volleyball season in the fall for the Hoosiers. A great wrestling season and postseason on the way. Both of these teams will have many wrestlers in the Big Ten Championships and in the NCAA Championships. Filipovic looking to make his mark in a similar fashion against Kowalski, the true freshman.
Yeah, so we see even though Filipovic hasn't been able to get a takedown, he's really winning this positional battle right now. What we just saw on the edge, Kowalski's tired of getting underhooks, so he kind of took a desperation shot to not stick to that upper body. And now you see him trying to be a little more, use his nimbleness and use his lack of size to his advantage by turning it into speed. Because now we're in this collar tie, and that favors Filipovic. Kowalski wants to stay from space a little more.
40 seconds in the second period. Filipovic with the escape after Kowalski's 3 seconds of riding time, and now Filipovic looking for more. Filipovic, a 30-pound advantage and a 5-year experience advantage. He's a redshirt senior. Kowalski, a true freshman.
Every time Filipovic goes for that underhooks, he's taking up a lot of ground. That's why he's getting to him, is he's going forward.
That onset of persistent offensive pressure for Filipovic. The key right now. 2 minutes left to wrestle between Indiana and Purdue.
We've seen Kowalski start throwing those fakes around, knows he doesn't want to go underhook, so he's throwing fakes. The problem is he hasn't really given Filipovic a reason to respect his fakes, because he hasn't gotten in on one yet or really shown to be a threat from distance. So we'd like to see him fire one off, but he's going to have to get out first.
Absolutely. Filipovic escaped in 3 seconds, and it's going to take a little bit longer than that for Kowalski in the third period.
Big mat return for Filipovic.
An emphatic mat return. A statement of a mat return. Can Filipovic ride for 2 minutes?
Man, anytime these heavyweights go airborne, it's impressive. That level of strength, that's a lot of deadlifts in the offseason for Filipovic to be able to lift a big man like Kowalski.
And Filipovic is creeping ever closer to that minute of riding time. not incredibly impactful because if Kowalski escapes, he's still a takedown away.
Whoa, body lock, wow.
Is there a pin on the board for Filipovic or near 12 points? He looks to be close.
And Filipovic securing that riding time now. 55 seconds left in this duel. Kowalski's got to make something happen.
Joey Butler and others on the Indiana bench once stalling. But they'll fall out of bounds, and with under 45 seconds left, Kowalski must escape. Now, a minute of riding time for Filipovic, so even with an escape, he still needs a takedown. So that amount of riding time for Filipovic, impactful regardless of whether or not he rides out the rest of the period.
Kowalski with a fresh start now. This is his chance. He's got to make something happen right off the whistle here. Prevent that lock from coming in. You don't want to come to your feet when there's a lock available. That's why coaches always say you got to get him over one arm before you come up. Kowalski trying to figure it out here.
30 seconds. Can Kowalski escape? Filipovic doesn't want to let him. Another statement of a mat return. Filipovic in control between the heavyweights.
It's interesting to see Filipovic use his comfort in upper body to his advantage by getting to that body lock.
Here's Funky Town, 5 seconds. They're out of bounds. Kowalski had a foot in, but they say they're out. 3.7 seconds left to wrestle between the heavyweights. And this will do it unless Kowalski can get a reversal in 3 seconds.
Yeah, I need 4.5 now, 4.5. Kowalski needs a quick, maybe a little switch, a little Granby. He's got to have something in mind here. Let's see what he does.
And that reversal will not come. So a 2-0 regular decision win for Filipovic allows Purdue to save face after what will be a 20-16 loss inside Wilkinson Hall on number 21 Indiana senior night. Dan, that was a ton of fun.